400-day streak, so it's not that hard.
Yo, you have a problem.
What's good? It's your boy Q to the motherfucking G-O. And we're motherfucking back with a motherfucking video. Today, we're here with some Judge Judy. I told you guys I'll be doing this a little bit on the channel. Not a lot, but, you know, until you pretty much get to know me. So, I told my dad when I was younger that I wanted to be a lawyer. And, over the years, that has changed. Please drop a like if that has happened to you, or you had a career and you was like, I'm sticking to this, and then you changed it because you saw something better, or you saw something more in your lane. I was about to say aisle, but yeah. So, anyways, I used to watch Judge Judy a lot. Even at my old job, I did. And then, like, when I was home, my mom, or I'd be my aunts and them, they always play it, you know, Judge Judy and shit like that, and, you know, law and shit. So I think I just wanted to watch this video. It's like 10 minutes, so let's get into it. I was about to say something else, and I just thought to myself, like, never mind. I mean, having so many
$25,000. Ms. Maloney claims Ms. Walker spanked her son so hard at school she had to take him to the hospital, and says he now suffers from emotional distress. Ms. Walker says Ms. Maloney's child caused his own injury because of how he reacted, and claims the plaintiff was aware of the school's disciplinary policy.
Very, very serious allegations.
Wait, what? Oh, I thought this was Judge Judy.
The defendant for some $25,000.
Oh, they put the little label on that motherfucker.
Saying that her school caused your son to sustain some serious injuries, and that you then withdrew your child from the school. So tell me what happened.
I'm here because I work very hard to get my son Glenn, who's 7 years old, into the McConnell School of Arts and Science. It's a private school that charges tuition, and it was recommended to me by a friend. I liked the school a great deal when I toured the school because not only do they have a very strong academic program and they have a very good college placement program, but they all...
Don't fucking cheat. Let me know if you think she's guilty. I think she's the defendant or whatever. Let me know if she's guilty or if she's gonna get off scot-free. Even though, based off the charges, whew, like based off what they're like saying, like what happened to the fucking kid, that's like assault. Like you just, you know. Anyways.
Also have a very strict disciplinary code, which I felt was really important for my son. I'm gonna
let it go. We got 10 minutes. I'm gonna let it go.
Why? Why did you think the strict disciplinary code was important for your 7-year-old?
Well, I'm a single parent. He does not have a father in his life, and I felt that it was very important that he have authority figures that teach him boundaries, especially when I'm at work all day.
And what is the policy? What is the disciplinary policy at your school, Ms. Walker?
At McConnell, we believe in corporal punishment.
And
we
it's her
have
school.
a paddle that we use. It's used during the process of disciplinary action. So the child is warned repeatedly, and if he keeps displaying this disruptive behavior in class, then we take the paddle out. These students know about the paddle, and then it's used on the child.
But you knew that that was the policy going into the school. And in fact, you supported this policy.
Well, when I toured the school, they told me that they had corporal punishment and that they spanked the children. They did not tell me that they used a wooden paddle on the children. So I did not know.
So what does spanking mean from your perspective? With your hand?
A hand to the bottom.
But
yes.
Technically, still
I disagree with that, Your Honor. Excuse me, but that paddle is displayed in the principal's office. Everybody is well aware that we use that tool in our school.
Coming up on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
He displayed this drama of, like, you know, falling to the ground, and that's where he got hurt.
The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Lana Maloney, who is suing Danielle Walker for $25,000.
So now you enroll your son in the school, and why are we here today specifically?
We're here today because the first call I ever received from the school was a call stating that my son Glenn was in the nurse's office crying uncontrollably because he'd been injured by being paddled by Ms. Walker, his second grade math teacher.
Ms. Walker, tell me what happened to her son that particular day.
Okay, I have been a teacher there very proudly. I've dedicated my entire life to teaching. I've been at that school for 23 years and have never...
What happened to your son? What happened that day? What happened? I hate when they do that shit. What happened that day? Answer the question. Bishop. Well, I've been there for 22 years, she came here ready to express her deepest devotion to the school. Nobody care about that shit.
An incident like this happen, or actually been called and suspended from what I love to do in my life.
So you were suspended behind this?
Yes, I was taken away from my students who depend on me. Was taken away so they could discern all the different evidence.
So they did an investigation. Were you reinstated?
Yes, I was.
So you have Miss Love. Would you join us?
Oh.
And I understand that you...
Oh, that might fuck her up, though. She already had an offense.
Are an assistant teacher in Miss Walker's room.
Yes, that's correct.
What did you observe that day?
Well, Glenn is, he's a good student, but he has some behavioral issues. It's
what grade
major.
Is this?
It's not more than most kids, but he distracts the other students and he disrupts the classroom. And so one day he really didn't want to be there. And he was talking with the students around him, being very distracting, and so Miss Walker asked me to move him to the other side of the room. So I moved him to the other side of the room, and I was trying to stand beside him to get him to focus. Then he asked to go to the bathroom. So Miss Walker, let him go to the bathroom. And then he came back, and about 10 minutes later, he wanted to go to the bathroom again. So Miss Walker let him go to the bathroom again.
This is perpetual behavior that he displays constantly. I think it's attention-getting.
And yet I've never been notified of that before.
Oh, yes, I've tried to call you numerous times. You have not returned a phone call.
I've never received a phone call.
You've been told about this behavior during parent-teacher night, but you have, I guess, forgotten that.
Did you go?
All right, see, now you could have put your comments down based off my original thought, but y'all ain't even see that, but anyways.
Did you attend parent-teacher night?
I did. There was no conversation of anything regarding punishing my son for bad behavior.
With that, Your Honor.
Coming up on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
He displayed this drama of falling to the ground, and that's where he got hurt.
The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Lana Maloney, who is suing Danielle Walker for $25,000.
The day that Miss Love moved him to the other side of the room, he continued to be disruptive?
Correct. Yes.
And tell me what happened, Miss Walker.
Well, we moved him to the other side of the room, and then he proceeded to do what he usually does.
Which is?
Being disruptive to the other children, talking to the other children, trying to get attention. And we do our best that's why I have a great TA. She does her best so I can keep focus on the children and teaching with the children. But Glenn just didn't stop. So then he wanted to go to the bathroom, which of course I gave him permission to go. He came back, then suddenly 15 minutes later he has to go again. And I go, oh, here he goes. I know what he's up to. He is smart. He knows, he thinks he can manipulate the teacher in his classroom. So he comes back, and then he starts kicking the desk and the chair in front of him, the student.
Right.
And at that point, I said, all right, that's it. This wasn't a one-day occurrence, Your Honor.
This is multiple
Exactly.
times. And you warned him multiple
Yes,
times.
I did.
So you employed corporal punishment.
Exactly.
Tell me specifically what you did.
Okay, so I told Glenn, I had warned him previously, if you keep up this behavior, then I'm going to get the paddle out. And he just really didn't stop. So as I approached him and I was going to use the paddle, he displayed this drama of, like, you know, falling to the ground, and that's where he got hurt.
So what were his injuries specifically, Ms. Maloney?
He has a bruise on his bone, Your Honor, and I have a bill here from the urgent care covering my deductible.
On his bone. What bone, bitch?
Did you use the paddle on him?
What bone, bitch?
Ms. Walker?
You know, quite honestly, Your Honor, I don't know if I even made contact, because he tried to avoid it and fell on the floor on his tailbone.
And so when you were called to the school and he was in the nurse's office, what did you do then?
Well, he was so upset that I went over to the dean's office to talk to the dean about the problem that had happened, and Ms. Walker was in the office with the dean. I asked her directly why she had paddled my son, and she said that he had been acting out, which I found, I was incensed by that. I thought that was a ridiculous way to treat a child, especially since I had no idea that he had been being a problem in his class.
Well, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. You put your child in a school that imposes corporal punishment. So you're saying, well, I thought they were going to spank him with a hand. Ms. Walker says that that was a policy everybody knew about, and if you had questions, you should have inquired.
I really did review the policies very carefully and consider very carefully the code of discipline that they use at that school.
First of all, the claim for the balance of the tuition of $15,000 shouldn't be directed to Ms. Walker. That needs to be directed to the school.
I totally agree.
And so that's a separate lawsuit that needs to be brought against the school. The only thing I'm going to deal with today is the issue of emotional distress and the physical injury. If I for a second thought that she had hit him hard enough to require this medical attention, I would grant you the claim and I would award some money for emotional distress. I am not convinced that that's what happened in that school that day.
Look how old the lady is.
I am going to deny your claim.
Oh, look how old the lady is, though. Look how old the lady is. Look how old the lady is. She gonna beat that nigga in front of the kids and break his tailbone. She gonna beat him in front of the kids and break his tailbone. I mean, she was suspended for it, though. She did get suspended for her conduct before. But at the end of the day, though, you know, she still, you know, and still make a valid case. She's an old woman, you know. She's not picking a boy up by his feet and his hands and embarrassing him. And the teacher and the fucking mom didn't know or answer any of the phone calls when the teacher said she was calling. I was not notified. She said, I called you. How are you not notified with your, you know what I mean, like what your kids doing in school? I think I'm gonna be one of those parents that low-key, I ain't gonna know too much, but I'm gonna make sure I know enough when I go up in there. I see what's going on with the principals, how you gonna call me, when you gonna talk to me. I'm like, what my son doing? Put him on the phone.
On the emotional distress and the medical damages as to Ms. Walker, but they are reserved as to the tuition and the other matters against the school. There's nothing further. Your claim against Ms. Walker is hereby dismissed. We'll stand adjourned.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I do understand the school's policy on discipline, but I still think you took it way too far.
Well, if you would discipline Glenn at home, I wouldn't have to do it.